Cora Hall, Knoxville News Sentinel. I know you've talked a lot about the Harpers already, but just Kelly started on her staff when she was only a couple years out of college, starting her coaching career. Just like, what has it been like for you to see her go on to have the career she has, and how she's grown as a coach just from when you had her on her staff?
Yeah, it was pretty neat. I guess maybe when I hired her the first summer, she was 24 years old. A lot of car rental places require you to be 25. So there was a lot of times where I drove and she navigated, and she said we were great. This was before the phone GPS stuff, y'all. And you're flying from gym to gym to see AAU games, and we would just about have passed the road, and she'd go, "Oh, we're supposed to turn right there." And I would just whip it and turn right. And she said, we're made for each other in this deal. So, no, it's awesome to see. It's worked out great. She's back where, she belongs, so to speak. Had a great career, 3 national championships as a player. So it's neat that she's back home and again, doing so well. So, yeah, it's pretty fun to watch.
Let's go in the back first, and then we'll move up to Ernie.
Coach, at half yesterday, there was a change of one of the officials. When were you notified of that, and were you given any reasoning why why they didn't use the standby?
Yeah, and I feel bad. I mean, I've known the official. I recruited her. That's the tough thing about being old. Tommy, she's from Chattanooga. I recruited her. Devil led her away. She went to Furman. I don't know. But anyway. Like I said, on the sideline sometimes, I did say something about how in the world are you doing this game? I hope that had nothing to do with it because, again, I was just, bandering back and forth. But, yeah, I mean, again, I would never doubt her integrity and those sort of things. But, I guess when they found out she had a degree from Chattanooga, I guess that maybe made it a little bit stickier, but I'll be honest, I didn't know they were doing anything until I see Angelica suffering over there stretching. So, and someone told me. So, again, I kind of hate it that it happened because, again, I, would never question Tommy Paris's integrity or whatever.
All right, Ernie, do you have a question?
Wolfpack Sports Radio. Coach, you've been in the game for 34 years and
longer than that, baby.
Maybe longer than that.
But let's keep it at that. That's
keep it at that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we'll go with it.
Head coaching for 34 years.
35. But
35
we'll go
years.
with it.
Okay, I'll go with it. A lot of experience. You've seen it all, in this game, recruiting, everything. What has eluded you was the Final Four. Is that something that you aspire to get to as a coach? I know it sounds like a stupid question, but I mean, I know you're trying to get this next game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still haunted. How many 2-3 years ago we're playing in Connecticut to go to the Final Four, and we lose in double overtime. So that'll forever haunt me. I look back on what I could have done at the end of regulation differently, and things like that. So, sure. I mean, that's I think that's everyone's goal. And if you ever lose sight of that, it's not a motivating factor, then it's probably time to play golf full time.
Other questions, Bob?
With the Associated Press West, did you know Tamara Key, I assume, while she was in high school?
Sure.
Relationship with her? Did you recruit her? How did that all shape?
Yeah, we obviously tried to recruit her. I don't know, how deep we got into it with her, but yeah, I mean, she is an unbelievable presence on both ends of the floor, and a big challenge when you're trying to have an interior scoring game, things like that. She definitely, like I said, impacts the game on both ends. So, but yeah, we recruited her, but I don't think she ever came on an official visit. I don't believe.
Let's go back over here.
Coach, I know we've talked a lot about Tennessee and the Harpers, but on the court, what are you feeling towards Tennessee? I know you said you scrimmaged them this year. What are the things you're telling your team they need to really think about?
Things, what?
What are the things that you're telling your team they need to really think about for the matchup tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to take, we're going to have to play with a lot of urgency, a lot of energy. They've got talent, great talent, and obviously they're well coached, well prepared. I think the biggest things when I think of Tennessee is transition. You better do a good job in transition D. Not only take away the block and the paint, but then they've got some great shooters spotting up when they run as well. And then offensive rebounding. Again, I was around Pat Summit a lot, and I've heard her say it a million times, and I've probably said it at least a million myself. Offense sells tickets, defense wins games, rebounding wins championships. And, I haven't necessarily got that message through to my team as well as I would like. I do think this time of year, rebounding is going to determine a lot of these games. If you give people second looks and you yourself are one and done, it's going to be tough to overcome.
Let's go in the back to Jordan.
Hey, Coach. Jordan Kramer, CBS 17. I apologize if you've been asked this already, but Mimi Collins said it's kind of a full circle moment for her playing Tennessee, given the fact that she started her career there. Mm-hmm. She talked a little bit about some of the adversity that she kind of went through for her career. It's kind of bringing some of that up. Have you talked to her at all about maybe compartmentalizing the emotional side and just focusing on the game?
Not a whole lot. Again, nowadays it's very common for players to face their former school. So, not really. I mean, again, obviously Mimi is an important part of what we do, and there was a coaching change at Tennessee, and that influenced, her decision some, and she went back home to Maryland at the time. And so, I don't think it was any conflict or anything like that. It was just they made a coaching change, and so she decided to go home to Maryland. So, knowing me, if I do say anything, it'll be joking, sarcasm, something to that effect.
All right, let's go back to Ethan.
Hey, Coach, Ethan from the Wolfpacker. This might be a silly question, but
Well, I've already had a couple of those, so go ahead.
Madison and Rakia obviously were teammates earlier in their college career. When you have players that have played together or played against each other extensively at former schools, are you asking Madison hey, what would you do against Rakia?
No, but maybe I should. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. But yeah, I mean, again, you watch all this film. I mean, so you kind of get a good feel. But yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. I mean, I think she's projected to be top 2 or 3 in the WNBA draft, so you kind of know what you're getting there.
Okay, let's go back to Coral.
Kind of going to go on that same trend. Just how tough is it to game plan for a player like Rakia Jackson, who, especially the way she's playing right now, kind of caught fire at the end of the season?
Yeah, she's playing extremely well right now, and tough matchup. Do you put size? Do you put length on her? Do you put quickness on her? And, of course, Kelly, she's a great coach. If you put, quickness on her, she's going to take them inside and post them up. And if you go with length, she's going to step out and shoot the three or take them off the bounce. And then in a perfect world, you'd be able to really help off people and get in the gaps and things like that. But, they got, 3 or 4 people out there shooting the three extremely well. So, pick your poison. If you help on her, then you're giving something else up. So definitely it's a tough matchup. I mean, again, they got a lot of All-Americans over there. So, again, at this time of year, you're going to play somebody really good. And it's gotten to a point now that when you get into this second tier, it's there's no easy ones. But Tennessee's definitely well stocked. Yeah.
Any other questions for Coach? Go back to Jordan.
Mimi and River both talked about kind of the emotion of tomorrow's game, it being their final game here at Reynolds Coliseum, no matter what. Can you just talk about the pair of them and really what they have meant to this program?
Yeah, I mean, again, trying to figure out how we can get another year out of them, you know. I don't know. I think River looked good with blonde hair, and, you know, we can maybe disguise them a little. But, yeah, I mean, again, they're both invaluable. I mean, Mimi's shooting the three a lot better. You know, she's worked extremely hard in that regard and made herself a threat at several levels, and that's good. And you know, Mimi, again, someone you can play at the 4, you can play her at the 5 some, so great versatility. River Baldwin, you know, I think when we just this year said, hey, you're it, we're going to play through you, I think that gave her great confidence, and she was able to step up and do some amazing things. So, yeah, you know, I'm sitting here, one eye on this game, and then another eye, you know, what are we going to do about filling those spots? But yeah, both of them are been a joy to be around. You know, I love cutting up with both of them, and again, they're going to be missed on the court and off.
Any other questions? Oh, back over here.
Coach, when you play against SEC teams like you're going to tomorrow, what are the immediate characteristics you think of in the SEC, and what's distinctive about SEC defense?
Well, I don't know that I single out SEC. I mean, I look at it as Power Fives. I mean, again, you know, and a lot of them are probably like Tennessee. They're going to play great defense. They're going to run and transition. They're going to be big time on the offensive boards. So, you know, again, I've said this a million times too. It's a butt game. You better get your butt back. You better get your butt between them and the rim, and you better get your butt on them and box them out. So, yeah.
Back to Ernie.
Dang, Ernie.
You got 3 minutes.
Practice about to start. What did you love most about this group of this team that you're coaching this year? I mean, you know, you've.
Well, I think more than anything else, you know, they get along, you know, and they enjoy being around each other, and makes, I don't think there's a whole lot of jealousy. I think they're happy, genuinely happy for someone else when they do well, and they celebrate other people's success instead of just their own. You know, I think, again, that just makes it more pleasant for everybody when team is close and have great chemistry and those sort of things. And so, yeah, it's been a fun ride, and I'd like to keep it going.